All right, welcome everybody.
Hey.
Welcome. Okay, welcome beloved ones. Haha, it's so cool to see you guys. Hey, Jaguars. Welcome to all of those who we know from a long time ago and from just recently. Welcome to all you who are new at the Jaguar Path, just checking in. It is so cool to be here with you. Welcome. I am Ray Crist, for those of you who don't know me.
And I'm Nina Crist. Welcome.
And we are the Jaguar Path, in essence, the training in life, training that takes from shamanism of Peru, that takes from Ayurveda, from the Taoism, and from a few combined studies of life itself to really ponder on and study on the question, what we really are. Know thyself and you shall know the secrets of the gods in the whole universe. So being Greek, I've been pondering on this, and we've been studying, traveling the world, both learning and teaching. But I see many of you. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. I want to say everyone's name. I'm just going to leave it at that. We love you and we miss you, all of those of you who were in Greece. And we miss you guys who were not in Greece, especially because we haven't seen you in a while. Welcome.
I'm feeling so much love. And Ray just saying we are the Jaguar Path. And I feel that, yes, Ray and I are the stewards, but we as a collective, we are, all of us, we are the Jaguar Path together. And such a gift.
That is so true.
I'm so loving everyone that's logging on. Thank you for joining us, for being with us live.
As you join, I do invite you, hello. I invite you to turn on your camera. If that's cool, it works, if it's appropriate, if you're ready for it. It is nice to be in the screen, a part of all this. Exactly like Nina said, we all are the Jaguar Path. And even if you haven't studied the Jaguar Path yet, just for today, you're part of this community. So showing your presence, being present, fully present, for everyone to see you and feel you, and that empowers all of us. It's one for all and all for one.
Yes.
We'll give you a few more minutes to do so if you want to jump in and turn on your camera, if you'd like to.
And of course, there's those moments in life where it's just
if you're in your pajamas, don't worry about it.
We understand, and thank you for
joining us. Or if you're not in your pajamas, don't worry about it. Either way, let us open sacred space.
Yes.
So take a moment, find a comfortable seat. You may close your eyes or keep your eyes open. Just taking a moment to honor the four directions, Mother Earth and Father Sun, to awaken our consciousness to this very present moment. I'm talking about the rattle, which we're studying today. We'll use this. Will you do the feminine and I'll do the masculine?
I would love to.
Finding the south first.
So bringing your hand to your heart, your other hand to the direction of the south, we invite the great serpent. Humpway. Amaru, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed our skin, to let go of the past. Show us the ways of connecting with Mother Earth as you do, belly to belly. Show us how to humbly move through this earth, to feel connected, to feel the source of love, feeling Mother Earth's heartbeat echo in ours. Horpichai.
Turning to the west. Hampue Otorongo, Hampue Hatunichi, welcome, come be here with us, great Jaguar. Pace around our circle. Allow your heartbeat to echo in our heartbeat so we too can feel the courage that you have. Teach us, great Jaguar Shaman, the way of sensitivity, that you hold in your paws. Teach us the way of power, that you hold in your claws. Allow us to know with discernment and clarity in life which to use at all times. May we always have the sensitivity to understand the energies that surround us, the energy that surround other people and circumstances. And may we always remember that we are powerful and we can make the steps we need and the changes we want in our life. Thank you for being here, great Jaguar. Thank you for leading such a path. Horpichai.
Horpichai. And turning to the north, connecting to the north, Humpway, 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 come, be with us, the spirit of Kalimbri, the sweet hummingbird. Hummingbird, teach us how to heal our past as you do, flying backwards. Show us how to set sacred boundaries. Show us how to find nectar, the sweetness in life around every corner. Wise ones, sweet ancestors, be here with us. Teach us the way of our lineage. Teach us how to walk this earth with reverence. Show us the sacred, show us the divine, show us how we can walk this land as you did. Allow us to remember who we are and what we are here to do and how to serve ourselves, one another, and Mother Earth. Horpichai.
Horpichai. Turning to your right once again to face the east. The winds of the east, great Gondora, be here. Hampwe, Hampwe, Gondora. Be here, great condor, and spiral upward. Teach us how to spiral upward ourselves, how to rise above and see the greater picture of our life. Teach us how to rise above emotions and circumstances when we most need it, so we could see with clarity who's to our right, to our left, in front of us and behind us. Teach us how to rise above the collective, how to rise above our previous self, and with clarity and discernment, with kindness and power, make new decisions. See with clarity from high above who's next to us that really helps us move in life, who's next to us that might be holding us back. Allow us with kindness and discernment to make adjustments. Thank you, Condor, for rising. Thank you for teaching us how to catch the thermals. May that be the wind. May that be a community that helps us rise, that helps us come together in power. Thank you for lifting us above and reminding us that we're connected with the divine, as you always are, flying wing to wing with a great spirit. Horpichai.
Horpichai.
And reaching down to Mother Earth, touching your floor, the ground.
Bowing your head below your heart in humility. Mother Earth, teach us how to walk with integrity. Show us how to walk this land. Show us how we are animated Earth. We are able to feel and experience this divine life. Teach us the mother tongue, the language of the trees, of the birds, of the insects. Teach us how to listen with our whole being. Teach us how to release any heavy energy, hucha. Thank you for always receiving our heavy energy as fertile soil, giving back to us fresh fruits, flowers, vegetable, all the nourishment that we need to continue to grow, evolve, and thrive. Horpichai.
Horpichai. And rising all the way above, slowly looking up. Intitaita, Mamakia, Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, thank you for being here. Thank you, Father Sun, for sending your light, for warming up the planet, for allowing for life to be created. Your energy with Mother Earth is what gives birth to all living. You are the father and she is the mother. Thank you for loving her kindly and softly. Thank you for sending your flames so we can burn old contracts. Thank you for lighting up our days so we can see with clarity. And Mama Kiya, beloved Grandmother Moon, thank you for holding us with such sweetness, with such acceptance, admiration, and affection. Horpichai.
Horpichai.
Just taking a moment, bring your hands to your heart, bow your chin to your heart, and thank yourself. Thank yourself for everything that you do for your healing and your evolution. And if you wish to, only if you wish to, you can bow deeper to any god or goddess, any saint or avatar, anyone that is a guide to you. A bow to Christ, Saint Francis, a bow to Hanuman and Shiva, and great Ganesh, Mother Mary and Shakti. Exhale with a sigh, and gently as you inhale, rise. Welcome, and I bow to all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is so nice to see you guys. I'm going to try to focus on our subject. Although, as we're here to discuss rattles and more rattles in other houses in other countries we've left behind, I am inspired to just say a couple things about shamanism as a greater idea, both for all of those of you who I see who are graduates of the Jaguar Path from years ago or from this just last year, and for all those of you who are new to us and are here for the first time looking at us. I feel that talking about what shamanism is as an umbrella, as an idea, is for you guys that have graduated also just good to keep in mind, just like a paragraph. It's like, because I think that shamanism is still either misunderstood or not understood, or put in some wrong categories that it really is not. And I'm saying this because I know that 20 plus years ago, before I had anything to do with shamanism, before I met my beloved teachers, I had some ideas, and my ideas were just taken from, hardly was there even Facebook back then. There wasn't even Facebook to get it from. So wherever I collected some ideas. So I want to just say that I'm sharing what shamanism is from a place of being an apprentice of 5, 6 different shamans since 2006, that now those of them who are alive have become family, and those who left, who are my great teachers, have gone, have passed on the other side. And they're even more with me, more than ever. But I want to say, first of all, just for the statement, first of all, shamanism is not a religion. Shamanism exists way before religion. Shamanism is a study of nature and of life itself. It studies depending, and shamans exist. When I left Greece having stage 4 cancer, and I started looking through Mexico and through South America to Peru to find shamans to help me heal, I thought I was venturing out to find something that was barely even existing, that it was most likely extinct, and that it would be really, really hard to find it. To my awesome surprise, I discovered that everywhere I went through South Mexico and all the villages and down through Central America, I found shamans everywhere. Only to understand and come to realize that shamans, as healers, as medicine men or medicine women, don't exist in the Western world, don't exist in Europe and in the United States for a very specific reason. Because there has been the great witch hunt of the Dark Ages. After the, what you want to say, 1500s, there was a big persecution on 3 main things. The persecution of the feminine, women were persecuted. The persecution of animals, they were considered to be beasts and dirty and not of God. And thirdly, magic. So anyone that had to do with any of those 3, which in essence, being an apprentice and a teacher of this lineage of the Keros, of the Paco, of the Earth Keepers, I realized that these 3 are always connected. The feminine energy is what we bow first to, Mother Earth, our mothers that gave birth to us, our sisters, our wives, our cousins, the beloved women that bring nourishment, that bring color, that bring sweetness, that bring direction, that bring healing, that bring wisdom. We bow to the feminine first. And the Kero tradition, which is what we essentially is the core of what we teach, first of all, always daily bows to the feminine.
Pachamama.
Pachamama. Pachamama in all the forms. We bow to animals. Animals were persecuted. There was this saying in the Dark Ages, funny it came out of the Dark Ages at some point, where I have to look it up and say, but where it really came from. There was a saying that said, yeah, let's write it down and fact check it, please, anyone. Any of the Jaguars tell me where it comes from. It's like, someone said that humans are the favorite creation of God. Whoa, wait a minute. And You know, I know that God loves me. I know that God loves us, but I know that God loves all of creation. God would not say, I love one child more than the other. I love humans over jaguars. I love jaguars over condors. I love dolphins over swordfish. God is the creator, and the essence of God is within all things. So her love, the divine love, is equal to all. And unfortunately, in that statement, when that statement was said by those who it was said, it only really led to what we call an anthropocentric view of the world, that we are important and everything else here is for us to use. We could use the animals, eat them, make them work for us, make them entertain us, make them do whatever we want because we are a higher rank and higher level. And it's just that simply in the shamanic view of the world, it's not. We share the planet with other animals, and they can be, if we step off that high horse, even it takes a horse for us to get high, but if we step off that whatever, and we come down and look, we can actually learn so much, you know? We look at the Taoist shamans of China, and they have the Shaolin Kung Fu and Tai Chi and all these forms of healing that directly source from animal wisdom, right? And when we go into our work in the shamanic work of the Keros or of the Amazon tribes, they study the animals and they learn. So it's like when I learn about the serpent, I learned that I can shed my skin and let go of the past, that there's a moment that I have a traumatic experience, something that happened, someone said something that wasn't nice, that wasn't correct, that got me in a moment that I was vulnerable, and I'm still carrying it with me 2 weeks later, or 2 years later, or 20 years later. Anyone ever carry something? Let me see hands. To 10 years, 20 years? Yeah. But now I'm learning that, hey, wait, the serpent energy tells me that there's ways I can shed my skin. I can let go of the past. I can release those things. So there's a lot of shamanic tools that help me release trauma that I'm holding somewhere in my body, right? Shed the skin. There's other times in the moment of my life or in the moment of my week that the jaguar comes in and teaches me. The jaguar has so many beautiful qualities. First of all, when the jaguar gets ready to pounce, when it decides that it's going to pounce on something, attention is undividable. Its attention is fully there. Its commitment is 1,000%. And it teaches me that maybe I can learn that. Maybe, you know, I decided to open a little shop. I decided to open a studio in the neighborhood to teach yoga. I'm going to put my full self in it. I'm going to be full-heartedly all for pause in. I'm going to jump into it and I will have that commitment. There's no turning back when the jaguar just pounces. It's like 1,000% there. And at the same time, it teaches something else that I feel I didn't know as a Western human, that you can have that softness in the pause. And when the jaguar puts its paw down, it immediately registers temperature. Is that going to make a crackling sound? Can it hold the weight? Can it hold the weight of me pushing off to pounds? It takes that sensitivity and quietness within to be able to see when I'm standing in front of another human being, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father of mine. How can I be so sensitive to where they're at that moment before I decide to talk, before I decide to act? Let me have that sensitivity. And other days or another moment that I might need to help my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, I know I have the power of the jaguar. I am able, I am capable, and I can do that. I can fight for a brother, for a sister. And just these three animals, because they happen to be the Inca trilogy, the three main power animals of the Inca, rise up to Condor, which you saw and heard rather in opening Sacred Space. Condor teaches us how to rise above. And, you know, have you ever felt emotionally like there's something that's happening in your life and there's emotions that are really up for you, that you're feeling hurt or you're feeling maybe even angry, you're feeling that there's injustice happening to you or that someone is not sensitive and you're like really feeling it, maybe in the solar plexus, maybe in the heart. Anyone ever felt that? Let me see hands. In life? Yeah. Well, when we make a movement and a decision and we react from that place, how does that go? Is it going like this, or has it gone like this for you? Let me see hands. Yeah, when I react emotionally, chances are that it's not going to go well at all. Even if I am the one that is in the most right position, and what I'm saying is only asking for justice, that would be, would be justice for all. Condor teaches me that at that moment that something happening to me, I can inhale, and that air I'm taking in is infused with a divine energy. That air I'm taking is the same air, the same wind that lifts the condor up. And condor rises up to, flies to like 18, 20,000 feet. We're talking about this super bird out of this realm. So I too use the same energy, that wind that the condor uses to spiral up. I use it to inhale and have the divine lift me in from the inside. And I take a moment, I give space for myself, maybe to shake it out, maybe something happened, an emotion that I want to get rid of, give it a little bit of time, a little bit of breath, and maybe a day or two to then decide from higher above. Maybe what was just said to me was the best thing ever. It hurt me at the moment, but it was a friend that was giving me hard love and hard advice that I should stop driving recklessly or stop doing this, or for whatever reasons, the first moment I took it in personally and I felt it was an attack. But if I give it space, I might feel that, hey, my buddy was right about that. Now that I look at it from here and I'm not infused with that hormone of the emotion of anger or injustice or whatever I thought it was. And maybe I rise above and I say, hey, that was really not nice. I look at it 3 days later and I understand that this person is coming from a place of instability, from their own personal anger. And I might need to decide, without necessarily saying anything to them or trying to put them in their place, I might decide to take a couple steps back from that relationship, give a little more. If I'm seeing this person once a week, maybe I need to see this person once a month, or maybe I don't need to see this person anymore. There's in our work, we realize that there's times we say namaste, and there's some times that we have to say namaste away. Stay away. And it doesn't mean that I have to build up some energy, negative energy about a person. If I recognize from Condor that it's not a symbiotic relationship, it's not good for the both of us, I have to maybe step away and say, I set you free, my brother, my sister, may you have a blessed life. I'm going this direction, may your steps on that direction be blessed. May you know love, may you know the divine also. No need to be held back, to be pulled down, no need to fight. There's a freedom in all this.
Yeah, and I feel in everything that you're sharing, there's the opportunity for the heart to open. And if we feel our heart getting closed down, that's an indication that maybe something's not aligned, maybe something's out of balance. And each of these animals that you referenced, the trilogy of the Incas, serpent, jaguar, condor, they each show us different ways we can be receptive to the energy all around us. And in that space of being receptive, then we can be in this place of true healing, true alignment, and just, I want to say, truth. And sometimes truth isn't pretty. It states that in the Tao Te Ching, these ancient texts. So many times it says, sometimes truthful words aren't beautiful. Oftentimes beautiful words aren't truthful. And a jaguar, a serpent, a condor is not getting mixed up in the societal belief systems of what should or shouldn't be. And I think that's really, for me, has been helpful to step out of, my heart's closing down. I really don't want to go to this engagement with so-and-so. I feel myself tensing and feeling uncomfortable in this situation. And the serpent, the jaguar, and the condor in different ways give me permission to say, you know what? This is a chance for me to set a sacred boundary and practice saying no, thank you.
No, thank
like
you.
Ray
Yeah.
said, namaste away. And we say that with humor because I think that humor can be really helpful as we're moving into this higher level of consciousness, awareness, and full presence and engagement in being.
Absolutely. Humor is the number one shaman's way of being. And teachers and gurus around the world say the same. It's like if you can't, if the teacher is not laughing, if they haven't found happiness, that means they're not on the path of liberation, of freedom, of rising above of all suffering. I want to just complete my, as I watch a couple more cameras turned on, welcome.
It's so
I
nice
want
to see
complete
everybody.
it with saying that I went out to venture to find shamans
Yes.
for my healing because I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I thought there wouldn't be any shamans out there. I'm going to really fast forward 20 years and say two things that there are shamans everywhere around the world that haven't stopped using shamanic medicine practices ever, right? Throughout the centuries, more than 10,000 years, 15,000 years now. The only places that stopped was Europe and the United States. While more and more we see places in the United States and more mainstream magazines, books, shamanic workshops, shamanic trainings, the word itself is not, you know, I used to say I studied shamanism in 2006 and people would do this. Now I say I study shamanism in the United States and people do this. Right, this is change. I've watched it change. Yesterday we were with a wonderful Greek couple and went out for dinner. And they said, well, yeah, we have our business online. We have a shamanic training. It's a 9-month training. We said about what we do and what we love to do. And he said, not here, you're not going to do it, because here you're going to get in trouble from the church. And that is the truth. Here in Greece, things are a little bit different. They're a little bit further back. Right? They're afraid of shamanism. Why? For good reason, because for 400 years, people were put to the fire if you'd said the word, I am a healer, or I talk to God personally.
And not only shamanism, he also mentioned that
Yoga.
Oh
yes.
that there was a whole conversation with the lead priest in the area that gave a talk, a sermon on how dangerous yoga is. And it was,
and alternative therapies. We'll leave it at that. So it's still persecuted, in other words. But I'll fast forward and say there's shamans in China, the Taoists who created acupuncture, herbalism, and the martial arts of Tai Chi and Kung Fu. There's shamans in old of England before all this happened, the Druids, great Merlin and his lineage. There's brujos and brujas, curanderos throughout whole Mexico. Zulu in Africa, the Aboriginals in Australia, everywhere in the world. And one thing the great thing that I realized was that, wait a minute, in these places that I've been traveling in the jungles or up in the high mountains, not only there's not a hospital, there's not even a pharmacy store. And then a greater realization came to my mind, to my reality, is like, even if there was a pharmacy store, 95% of these people do not have 50 cents. They don't have 50 cents in their pocket or home, they don't know what a bank account is, to actually say, I'll buy an aspirin from the pharmacy store. And that is actually the greater reality of the planet. While we live in the reality, I'll get in my fast car or in an ambulance and I'll go to the super modern hospital, that doesn't exist in the reality of most of the planet. More than, I want to say, 50, 60% of the planet live in rural areas, live the same way we have lived for centuries. And we travel a lot, and the more we travel, the more we see this. We go into places that people have not changed how they live. They live the same way that we've lived for centuries. So they need to get some chamomile if they have a stomach ache. They need to get some spearmint if they feel that they have a congestion in their chest and they have some mucus to break up. They need to find the flower essences and work with the medicine. I'll close this chapter to also say that even modern medicine has stepped on these stones that are shamanic. And to make a huge, big clarification here for me and for both of us, in Mexico, I found a shaman outside of a temple, and the shaman was just selling some things. And I thought it was a tourist shaman, to tell you the truth. And I'm like, well, still, I'll have a conversation and see what I can get out of the conversation. Remember, I was looking to find healing for cancer. So this shaman picked up a rattle and started rattling around my body. And when he came to my right side over here, he'd go back again. And he said, hermanito, this and this can be healed, but this over here, you need to go to the shamans up north because that's really big. I'm like, first of all, what did he hear? How did he track what? And I said up north, so because I was already traveling and had in mind that I would travel anywhere in the world to find a healer, a miracle maker, someone to save me. I really, really, really wanted to live. I was only 39. I said, where? Up in the Antarctica. And he looked at me as if it was the silliest person on the planet. He said, no, hermanito, en Estados Unidos, in the United States. I said, we don't have shamans in the United States. He said, oh, yes, yes. They're called surgeons. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This man, I wish I had his name. I wish I had his phone number. I wish I knew where I could find him again to give him a big hug. And I don't know, $100, $1,000, a big thank you, whatever. He brought down this barrier that I had between the Western and the Eastern way of healing. And bringing down that barrier allowed me to be able to participate in a study in the National Institute of Health and the NIH in Maryland in 2005. I had this surgery, and after that surgery, I can say that if it wasn't for that surgery, I would not be here today. And at the same time, if it wasn't then for traveling to Peru and meeting these teachers that I have and beginning a new life that I live, I wouldn't be here today. If I did a surgery and removed a big mass that I had in my right kidney, I removed my whole kidney, and went back to the life that I had that led me to cancer, it is really clear that that life would lead me to cancer once again. It was a road that led there. But what I did is that I was able, through studying with the shamans, to change the road I was on. Now I'm on the Jaguar Path. I'm on a path that leads to other places, right? And one of the big things that we share through the Jaguar Path, and part of our realization, is we don't live in reference to other people and what other people do or what's on Facebook and Instagram or the magazines or TV. We don't live in reference, we live in reverence. We live in reverence to the sunrise, to the sunset. Mm-hmm. For those of you who were with us in Greece, we live in the reverence to being in an ancient temple or being in the sea and sailing, in reverence to the wind that comes and lifts the sails. In the moment we dive in the water, the reverence of the Mediterranean, and the reverence of being with a group of people and having that sense of communion and love that we all create together as a community and family, that when we do that, it lifts our hearts, it lifts us all, individually and as a group. With that said, I'll open this part a little bit to questions, and then we'll dive into the technology of the rattle. How does that sound? So if you have any questions, please put them down here in the chat, and our amazing electronic shaman, Nina. As most of you know, she makes it all happen. Let's see. Anyone? Oh, let's see. No questions. I guess I was really thorough in explaining everything really well.
I'm seeing Laura Lee's beautiful rattle. It's so beautiful. I'm taking a moment to just...
Any questions that have come in before?
Good morning. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Thank you for saying it's explaining.
Who is Cricket Dream?
Laura Lee, you did it. Nice work. Digital shaman in training. What are we drinking? We are drinking
amazing water. H2O.
We are both drinking water. And
we are in a heat wave. It's 98 degrees outside.
I think it's 105, honey.
It might be 105. I have to look at it.
We are in, and we're drinking water all day as much as we possibly can. It's not cacao.
We
You know,
generally,
I got these nice green, like glass blown cups, so it maybe makes it look a little bit different, but it's just pure water.
okay, there you go. 97 degrees and sunny. You better believe it's blazing. It's going to be 98 a little later on.
Yeah. Laura, whenever you're ready, Laura Lee, you can unmute yourself. We'd love to hear your question. And I say that like it's easy to unmute yourself. Do the best you can.
Good morning, everybody.
Bottom left corner.
She's got it, but our volume's down.
I
There we go.
got it. Yeah, technical idiot here. I worked on the Hubble, but I can't figure out how to do a Zoom meeting yet.
You
That's
got
awesome.
it.
Good morning.
Morning.
Wow, I can't believe I tuned in right at the time when I needed to hear what you were saying, Ray, about allowing myself to walk away and namaste away. I'm struggling right now. That's why I just woke up. I'm late. I'm in bed. I have an annual party family today, family party, and it's all a bunch of dysfunction and a lot of drinking and a lot of no self-actualization. They're the just do it or get over it group.
You know
Okay.
what? You're
And
the
I
only
can't-
one. You're the only one there that has such a family. Anyone
No, but
else?
what I'm saying is-
Anyone else?
What I'm saying is I'm trying to not engage, but I'm so sensitive right now that every little single thing they say, even though it's in jest and it comes from where they think it's a good place,
Yeah,
it's hurtful because I'm raw right now.
this is passive aggressive. Because it's
Exactly.
well,
And I am
there's-
too, because I'm angry now because I don't want to go, but I feel like I have to explain myself because you're all, you don't get me and I'm struggling and you're
Awesome.
compassionate and I don't know what to do because I'm so codependent,
Beautiful.
it seems.
So
It's
let
like
me
they're toxic. Why can't I
Yeah.
just walk away?
Okay. So there's beautiful. Watch this. Okay. So I'm going to just say two things, Laura Lee. Who was the one that just asked the question, why can't I just walk away? Is that your true self? Is that your true heart that's saying, why can't I just walk away or not?
Yeah.
It is your true self. It is
I
your true-
love them, but
It is
I
your
don't
true
want to
self.
have
You
that.
say, I love you guys, and you can send, how's this? You can send a note and say, I love you guys, but I will not be able to partake today in this. I'm not feeling well, and I don't want to give anyone any kind of like cold that I might have to anyone else. I'm sending you my love. And then take your beautiful self and go to the park, go do what you love the most.
What
Because-
if I've done this for the past 7 years?
Yeah,
Made excuses because it's hurtful, their comments, and I'm just not
Yeah.
feeling it anymore.
That's
They're-
it. So let me just say this, that is this really important thing that we teach and we share in the Jaguar Path. And one of the things that I've learned is one of the most important things in the shamanic work. We all have a couple of voices inside us. One says, well, why can't I just not go? Or the other one says, why do I have to be there? And I don't want to be there. And there's just all this conversation in the head. So one of the most important things is to start discerning whose voice is who. So we generally separate these voices in two main voices. One is the voice of the narrator, which is made of the collective
I
consciousness.
saw that the other day. Yes.
Okay, right? The narrator, which is,
Yes.
I have to be there because everyone else is there. And if I'm not there, I'll be kicked out of the tribe.
No, we
And the
talked
other
about
voice is-
mocked.
Yeah, and I'll bring it home and I'll say this to you to open it up to others for other questions. I'm going to say that the other voice says, why can't I just not go? And there's no answer to that. There is no why, because you have to. You don't have to. The idea here is that one of the things that I've learned when I got cancer is that I was all perplexed with these relationships with people that had wronged me, and I was thinking about how I really didn't like what they had done to me and what I would say to them. I was perplexed with places and functions that I had to go to because of work, or I had to go to because it was family. And when I was given 90 days to live and I only had 90 days, I said, well, what am I going to do these 90 days? I'm not going to go there. I'm not. That's one of the 90 days that I have. I'm not going to do something I don't like that is not good for me and my heart. It changed everything for me. My whole, where I put my weight on and how I decided things absolutely changed. And that's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the shaman. Your life is valuable, is worth trillions of dollars. It's not even calculated in dollars. Your life is unique and your life is now. And you get to spend it how you like and not in what you have to do for others. Rise above in condor and don't even worry about it. And don't stay in that suffering of like, I should have, could have, did it. Just like, let it all go. So I hope that works for you.
Thank you, Ray. Yes, it did. Hi, Nina, by the way.
Good to
Happy
see you,
birthday,
Laura.
fellow Gemini.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And enjoy something awesome today.
Yes.
Horpichai.
And-
Horpichai.
Horpichai. And I
Thank-
saw as you were, as Ray was responding to Laura Lee, I saw a couple comments come through, and thank you. As Ray is sharing about his experience, as we're coming into talking about the rattle itself and the mechanism of the rattle. And Laura Lee, thank you for sharing so vulnerably in your rawness. The shamans know, they are seers, they have known for thousands of years what we are now just discovering with science and this evidence-based research and all of these scientific studies and investigations. Tesla has come into this amazing technology, right? And more people are talking about bioresonance and understanding the frequencies of our body in a healthy state and in a state of dis-ease, and any unhealthy frequencies in the body, how to start to neutralize those. Now, when Ray shared about the shaman tracking with the rattle, what could be healed naturally with herbs, with movement, with the elements of nature, and what needed to be taken care of with a surgery, they were tapping into what I think of as almost like an energetic magnifying glass. The rattle got out of the mind of the shaman, getting into this almost hypnotic, deep relaxation state, letting go of the thinking mind, allowing the client, Ray, to stand there and have his truth be heard, his truth be in a state of, in the audio. The shaman didn't do anything to change anything. Ray didn't do anything to change anything. There they are, two human beings standing face to face in a raw, powerful moment of, I have what, 90 minus X days remaining.
30 days at that
right?
moment.
So I have 30 days remaining. I need help. And the rattle, this ancient tool, and Ray will talk a little bit more about what is this tool consist of, and why is it so powerful, and why do we continue to use it to this day? Not just as shamans, we give it to a child, right? How do we soothe a child that's crying? How do we relax when we are feeling like, Laura, thank you. That was really vulnerable and really powerful. Now, we all can relate to that, maybe not in this moment, but in other moments. So what we're learning today is how simple and profound the healing is that the shamans have connected, allowed us to stay connected to. When we talk about lineage of the Caros, we're talking about lineage of the humans. This is our lineage. We come back to the source, we come back to the seeds, the ironwood, the pod. We come back to the elements of nature and say, wait a second, we are nature. And how can our resonance be expressed in a way that we can navigate with strategy, with clarity. And with action? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to just say this, in a way, I don't know, this is a subject we can't really close, but when I first read the Bhagavad Gita, because the shamans of India are the yogis, they talk about studying the human being, studying the energy of the internal organs and astrology and the effect of that. But in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the Bibles, if you want, of Hinduism or of the yoga world, there's a big battle. And in the battle, Arjuna, who is the protagonist, on one side is fighting on the other side, and he stops in the middle of the battlefield and he falls on his knees and say, Krishna, I can't do this because on one side is my father and my cousins, and on the other side is my mother and my brothers and my other cousins. I don't want to fight against these people. And forever I was reading this. For the first 20 years I read the Bhagavad Gita. Could not get it until I started working with the shamans, and a lot started clarifying. But it seemed, why? I'm not in a battle with my mom and my cousins, and on this side is my father and my brother. It's like, I'm not until I kind of realized, and wave with your right hand if it's true for you, the hardest relationships are the relationships of family, the ones that can hurt us the most. Let me see, hands. And it could be my brother, it could be my sister, it could be my son, it could be my daughter, it could be my mom, it could be my father. The people that are neighbors or living 10 miles down the road, it's like, I couldn't care less. It's like if they like me or not, or if they care, if they don't care. It's I'm like, okay, and namaste to you too, not a worry. But if those personal relationships are the ones that say, can I go? How am I going to go to Thanksgiving and actually have a fun time? Where am I going to go to Thanksgiving? It's going to be, have you ever had a real hectic time in Thanksgiving? Anyone? Where all the dysfunctions come up? And it's just like, wow. And it's such a ceremony of giving thanks. And we end up overeating and really becoming emotional wrecks rather than being in a place of ecstasy, of communing, etc. But those are the difficulties. And the moment you're stepping into shamanic work, may it be by doing Tai Chi. Shamanic work means, what does it mean really? Is like I'm taking a moment to step back and examine myself. It took me another 25 years with the Yoga Sutras. That first sentence of the Yoga Sutras is, now begins the practice of yoga. I was like, well, that's a simple way to start the book. What's a simple way to start a book? What? And I realized that says, now begins the moment that I am taking a look at myself. So when I'm in a moment that someone's saying something hurtful to me and it's making me hurt or making me want to cry or making me want to be angry, I don't say I'm going to correct this person. I turn all the cameras and the lights on me. And I'm like, why am I feeling hurt right now? What is not aligned right now? What should I be doing? What could I be doing differently? That's the practice of yoga. That's the practice of being a shaman. I rise above it, says, well, if I tell Kat and Dave and Cindy about this, they'll all agree that I'm right. But what if I don't say the story from my perspective and I just take a moment to rise above and see what can I change? Because there is no way, because it takes two to tango, there is no way that in that I'm not included. I'm included because I'm hurting, so that means I'm included. What can I change in this circumstance? How can I be the key player? Not by correcting the other, because I can't correct anyone. Have you ever tried to correct anyone? Let me see hands. Have you ever tried to change someone in life? How did that go? Did it go like this or did it go like this? Yeah, no one changes. The only person we might, maybe, with a lot of effort and a lot of love and a lot of community, that we might be able to change is ourselves. Maybe, right? But no one else changes because we would like them to change. And one thing that I've learned also as a shaman, it's not my place to change anyone. Everyone is somewhere they need to be. And one of my beloved teachers would say, a yogi teacher, a great sweet Sri Dharma Mitra, who's still 85 and teaching strong, he used to say, it's like when you look at someone in a yoga, in the class, you'll see someone that are struggling, you're looking at you 10 years ago. And if you look at someone that's sitting with two fingers doing handstands and it's like, you can't do that, you're looking at yourself 20 years from now. You're always looking at yourself before now or after now. So anyone that's coming at you is coming from a different moment in life, and it's you in another moment. They're seeing or not seeing some things. They might be seeing more than you, they might be seeing less than you. And the great Tao says, everything unequal always. So in a place where everything is unequal and every human being is a different evolutionary stage or a different moment in life, some people are celebrating, they're partying, they just got married last week. Some people are mourning, they lost a beloved one last week. You can't expect everyone to be at the same place. Everyone will be in a different place always, everyone. So in that moment, we need to be going along life, not saying, well, there should be a greater Facebook reality and check of, what word did you use and what word did you not use? It's like, wait, this guy is mourning, this woman's celebrating. They might use another word because they're at a different second of life. And it's okay to accept and love all. So with that said, because I promised about the rattle, I will speak about the rattle, and then after speaking about the rattle, I'm happy. If any question comes up, please put it in the chat. Please put it in the chat. I'll be more than happy. Because this is how it goes. This is such a vast subject: shamanism, yoga, Taoism. This is our life. This is everything we talk about from morning to night. We wake up in the middle of the night to talk about it. We are talking about it and studying it constantly. There's such a vast subject that only if you have a question can I really even easier speak to something that will be a gift to you. So rattles. Don't be rattled now. Rattles, yeah, for those of you who have it.
Yeah.
Nina said it wonderfully. We do give a rattle to the baby. What happens when we give a rattle to the baby? It puts itself to sleep. It just goes like this and it's a lullaby. This sound has the element of bringing the brain from alpha waves to theta waves. Alpha waves are a frequency, the brain and electricity is working at a frequency where I'm driving a car, I see other cars, I see the red light, the green light, etc. And theta waves, there's that place where we begin to drop in when we start sleeping, where we're coming into this, the veils are dropping between the conscious and the subconscious. And in that subconscious, one of my greatest teachers, beloved, and they all have a place in my heart, Don Manuel, a sorcerer, a modern curandero, he said to me, 5% is conscious of the way we work and 95% is unconscious. Who do you think rules? Does the 5% conscious of you rule or the 95% of the unconscious? So when we do shamanic work, we want to do the change that we want to take, that we want to make happen, we want to make it happen at the 95%. So when I begin to rattle, and if you could close your eyes and just feel into this, take a deep inhalation. Feel as if you're inhaling this sound. As you're inhaling the sound, feel how you're expanding, how your rib cage may be expanding, even the space in your skull, the head is expanding beyond the physical. Gently take a deep inhale and open your eyes. And tap in and ask yourself for a moment, do you feel right now, just in this 20 seconds, a lot calmer than you felt right before this? Just being in that honest sensation of what you're actually feeling. So it has the ability to bring us into this place where, as a shaman, when I'm using it, I'm tracking the other person. I can track like that shaman did, that what I thought was a tourist shaman did. And what I notice is that the pitch of the sound changes. And I can feel like the dowser when you were looking for water, that pitch changes, and it can give me a sensation of what do you call
Density.
it? Density, thank you very much. And it can give me a hint to something. While it's putting me in a trance, I'm not thinking, oh, this person I'm working in front of me has a terracotta shirt on and she has a silver thing, so I might think that I had another client 10 years ago that had long hair too. That's all not happening. My narrator is turned off because I'm in the state. And I'm allowing for inspiration. I'm awakening my pineal gland. Pineal gland is what connects me to the greater reality, what connects me to the divine. The pineal gland is what gives Christ his halo. The pineal gland is what gives the Buddha that we have here, the pine cone hairdo, that's symbolizing a big pineal gland open to the divine. So as I go into this trance, meaning actually, I don't know if I like that word, as I go to this higher frequency of being, I can feel and I can connect with this person in a higher level. My client, my friend, my wife, my sister, my brother. And from there I can, inspired in divine energy, coming from a place of the knower, the shaman, be able to give a word that might help my friend or my client move out of that place. The outside shell is sometimes coconut, sometimes a bigger seed. This is used in the jungle and in the deserts to carry water. So this whole flask, if you want, the outside, the pod, is the carrier of life itself. And all of us, notice how you said, wow, okay, yeah, I knew that. There's a part of me that already knew that, right? Do you notice that? We carry water for centuries in these before we discovered PVC. No comment on that. They should make only coconut flasks from now on. Coca-Cola should only be served in coconut flasks that are actually biodegradable. And all the companies. The inside. What is inside? I want you to close your eyes and go into this dark space. And there's a spinning. Actually, there's a spiraling of seeds. There's 20, 30, 100 seeds. You take an inhale and open your eyes. Feel this spiraling. If you look up at the dark universe above you at night, there's millions, there's tens of thousands of seeds, stars that are spiraling around in the galaxy. And there's a connection between the microcosmos and the megacosmos, the micro and the macrocosmos, both being Greek words, right? Micro, mikro meaning small, macro meaning megalo. Cosmos, which means universe, is Aristotle's word, and it means jewel. He refers to the universe as a jewel. It's the jewel. So it's the divine. Cosmima. Cosmos. Cosmima. I feel it. Yes, it is a jewel. So when we're spiraling, what else are these seeds? What can you do with seeds? With seeds, these seeds inside here, you can plant them and make a garden and have food for yourself and your whole family. You can plant them and have a whole forest that can give you wood and trees to light a fire, to survive, to cook your food. Trees that you can use to build a house, to build a roof. Trees that will give you branches. Maybe it's eucalyptus trees and you can get all those leaves and inhale them or drink a tea for your cold. All the seeds are seed of life, and these are connected with all the stars of life. There's a big connection of astrology, astronomy with our personal, each individual, because each one of us has a star, as the shamans of Peru tell us. We're all connected, and that's one of the things that you see in common of all the shamans. May they be in India with Vedic astrology, the Incas, which had amazing astrology, the Taoists, the Chinese medicine people that had astrology, they all refer to that connection between stars and us. And we go deeper into it in the training, just as an understanding of how they actually connect with us. But all this spiraling connects with us and the spiraling that we have in our heart and the blood that runs through our veins in our reality.
That potential energy.
And the potential energy. The stick itself, this is iron wood. It is the hardest wood that exists. And it is symbolizing that we can hold to climb up in life, to evolve, to climb up out of an illness, to disease, to come to ease, to come to flourishing. It symbolizes that I can build a house and that I can be protected. It symbolizes that I can light a fire and keep myself protected and feed myself. And then when we come to feathers, I usually most of the time try to get these that do not have feathers, because now the Western world is there. Instead of having to make 1,000 of these per year, they make 20,000 of them. These, by the way, come directly from the jungle. I've gotten them out of the jungle from the Shipibo tribe. The Shipibo people live the same way they have always lived. There is no electricity, there is no plumbing, there is no cement, there is no Coca-Cola, there is no pharmacy store. What there is the jungle, which is the largest pharmaceutical company that ever existed. Amount of kinds of medicinal plants that I've learned about and in the jungle, where I visit. I visited every year except this last 3 years. Finally, COVID has passed and Peru has come back to its feet and everything is okay. So as of next year, what is it, April or so, we're going back to Peru again. And we go through this jungle, we walk through these trails in the jungle. We have 4 days there where we look at all the medicinal plants. What's good to stop you from bleeding? What's good to put on an infected area? What's good to drink if you have too much mucus and you have some kind of congestion? What's good for your eyes? What's good for anything, for all the elements? Now, again, with that said, I love taking all the medicine plants, and I'm really happy and consider myself lucky and blessed that I also have the opportunity, if I need to go to a pharmacy store or go to a doctor and get a chemical medicine that, again, will really help. And in most occasions, it helps much faster. Of course, some of that also means that it has some other things. If you turn the box around and say this may cause death, it may cause dizziness, it may cause death. Sometimes it's like it may cause some other things. So everything in balance, everything in balance. I feel that we're lucky that we're able to. I feel that those who were shamans in the past, because shamanism was taken away from Europe and in the United States, these same people are the ones that have become doctors and surgeons, and may they be blessed. I feel grateful for every nurse and every doctor that I met, and my surgeon in National Institute of Health, in every hospital I've been in. So grateful to these people and for what they do and how much self-sacrifice. But as I said, again, it's nice to be bringing in all the elements, because I can't say, okay, this is the big thing, and I'll close to open it up for questions. I stood in front of in front of Don Francisco. I rather came down to my knees. I wasn't standing, and I said, "Heal me, I have cancer, I'm going to die." And he said to me, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, stand up. I can't heal you, but I can train you to become a shaman, and you can heal yourself." That changed everything for me. It changed everything for me. It was the moment that I realized that I have a huge active part in becoming well. That yes, I had to give to my surgeon to do my surgery. I couldn't do that. And of course I needed to give it to him, to his expertise, to trust him, to follow his orders, of course. But also I needed to stand on my feet and say, well, how am I going to change my diet? How am I going to take care of my kidneys? What should I be eating? What should I not be eating? It's like I can go to surgery and then go to McDonald's the next day. It's like, no, I want to be eating, I eat more Brussels sprouts than I've eaten in 5 lifetimes, all those years to follow. Brussels sprouts and spinach and kale and beets and water and water and more water. And taking care of what water I'm drinking and how, etc. So like, how do we actively participate in our health?
And I think one of the big like ahas or wows for me as Ray shares that experience, and also experiencing it for myself, having the Caro elders, these chiefs of this ancient lineage, medicine men, medicine women, leaning in and asking us to share this with as many people as we can, asking us to step forward, think, you need to heal yourself. You need to learn this. This is so important. I love you. I want you to have this information. I don't know where I learned it, but I really believed that I wasn't allowed to know this information. I'm from Cape Elizabeth, Maine in the United States. I'm not Caro. Who am I to know this information? This isn't for me. And I really felt a deep-rooted separation. And I felt that it would be disrespectful for me to step in and learn this. And it was a really huge misconception. And when I look in the eyes of Donna Juanita, Donna Filipa, Donna Anita, Bernardina, and they're looking at me and saying, my sweet sister,
teach this.
Please share this with as many people as you can. And they say it with almost this yearning of, this needs to get to the people. Mother Earth wants all of our brothers and sisters to know this information. And this is something that is so hard to to communicate. I feel that there's a barrier for all of us today that are coming together with curiosity, with intrigue, with a yearning to want to learn and to connect and to experience. This is something that we get to overcome, because as Ray shared about the dark ages at the beginning of our time together today, the dark ages are still here. And it's the people, it's us that are saying, you know what, I am moving into the light. I am moving back to the source of my birthright. I want to connect with these ancient ways that are not meant to be lost. This is who we are at the root, at the raw expression of being human.
Reality.
Of truth.
This is reality and truth.
Of truth. And that's where the 9-month training, we do the 9-month training, and Ray shares more about how the Jaguar Path came to be and how the 9 months came to be and why we teach the tools that we teach. But it's really about a rebirth. It's about stepping into a new, fuller expression of self. And it comes directly from the elders asking us, please share this with as many people. Anyone that is curious, anybody that is ready to receive this, please make it available.
And they're with us in the training. They
my
come the
gosh.
first session and the last. They come every 3
And-
months. They're with us there, and we're with them all the time.
And I'm smiling because their sweetness and their kindness and their genuine spirit is just pure medicine. Just getting to have them present with us.
Absolutely.
And the deep healing that they offer all of us, just in the way they speak and just in their presence.
Any questions? Is there any question?
Yes, we have come. Thank you. We're reading the comments that have come through.
And we will send also some personal emails back to some of the questions that are personal. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
I want to say that if you do have a rattle, remember that, if I may, just show just one element. If I could have your heart for a second.
Yes.
We can do a counterclockwise. Let me open my Veracocha for a moment in this sacred space. If I feel that Nina says, oh, I have this pain in my chest because I had to go to this family function and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, how am I going to say no? I'm going to say, wait, let's breathe a little bit. I'm going to go counterclockwise. Open this chakra. Counterclockwise, as if it's a clock is on her chest coming out. And then I can reach in and remove any of that darkness, any of that fear, heaviness, cloud, dark cloud. Nice. And then I can close clockwise, which closes it and energizes her heart. Closing that so it's not leaking. Energizing means she now is in a more brave space, in a more loving space. And she can make a decision that may say no out of love. No, I'm not going there because I'm a loving person. And this will not work for me, and I will love myself. And maybe everyone else will feel more love.
And before we close, there was a question that came through, and Ray just touched on it, but I will say in the 9-month training, each of the different tools that we share, utilizing the rattle, do use the rattle in a little bit of a different way, as he just demonstrated how we use clockwise and counterclockwise. We go into much more.
A lot more.
We could talk all day, but we will honor your Saturday morning.
We could talk for 9 months, as many of you already know.
Yes, but that's a wonderful question. And yes, the rhythm and the way that you work with the rattle does change depending on the technique, the tool that we're offering the client. Yeah.
Thank you all for being here and to honor your Saturday. May you have an awesome weekend, an awesome Saturday. It's so great to see all of you, beloved ones, and to see new people. Thank you for being here. And we look forward to more. We'll send the recording tomorrow and maybe a couple other extra pieces of information in an email, especially for all of those of you who couldn't be here. Out of some 200 people that register, I see about 25. So you guys that couldn't make it, enjoy. I hope you enjoy the recording and more information that we're sending. So
Yes.
lots of love to all. And in a couple weeks or so, there's more coming. We have a few of these lined up.
Yeah.
And a lot more to come. So
Much more to come.
any questions at evolve@jaguarpath.com. Lots of love to all. Thank you
Enjoy.
so much. Have an awesome weekend. Lots of love.